Get me out of here, Donald, please.
Let me have you about that!
Is this just fantasy?
Come on!
Caught in a landslide. No escape from reality.
Ah!
I want to assemble a task force of the most dangerous people on the planet.
They're bad guys. Worst of the worst.
Too late.
Open the gate!
My time has come. Send shivers down my spine.
Was this cheerleading trials?
All the time.
Hi, boys.
Goodbye, everybody.
Deadshot. Guy shoots people. He's a crocodile and he eats people. Burns people. You're possessed by a witch and she's just crazy.
What was that? I should kill everyone and escape? Sorry. It's the voices. I'm kidding. That's not what they really said.
This is the deal. You're going somewhere very bad.
Whoa!
To do something that'll get you killed.
Let's go save the world.
I can't wait to show you my toys.
Mamma mia, mamma mia. Mamma mia, let me go.
Let's do something fun.
Seriously, what the hell's wrong with you people?
We're bad guys. It's what we do.
Nothing really matters to me.
Hey YouTubers, Hankster here, and welcome to my long-awaited movie review of none other than Suicide Squad, which came out back in August. And the movie, of course, stars Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, Jay Leto as the Joker, or is it Jared Leto as the Joker? And Will Smith as Deadshot. Now, of course, I have to say this movie was one of the best movies so far of the year, along with Deadpool. Pretty much both are in the same vein, even though I think I remember that Suicide Squad is PG-13 while Deadpool is rated R. Just had a few more things added to there. You probably would have had an R rating for Suicide Squad, but who knows. And of course you say, what you do? Well, it's just the real world. I did see this movie early September, and being that now it's been out for over 2 months. It's probably no longer in theaters anyway, and probably within the next month or so, between now and the end of the year, it'll be out on Blu-ray and DVD, just in time to get your hands on it for Christmas. So, let's get on to the plot. Now, the United States government, at least a mysterious woman, has decided to create a sort of a Delta Force consisting of supervillains to take on any rogue metahuman or some sort of metahuman-like force that normal human forces, not even an army, could take on. Like, for example, if Superman decided to kidnap the president or such things. By the way, the events of this movie kind of takes place after the events of Batman vs. Superman. And I also have to mention that Ben Affleck is in this movie. He, of course, reprises his role as Bruce Wayne / Batman. He's in a few scenes, sort of flashback scenes at the beginning of the movie, and then he's at the very end of the movie, arranging a deal, and of course giving a warning that his new team, which of course would be, of course, obviously the Justice League, will keep an eye on the Suicide Squad in one way or another. Well, pretty much you already remember who's in this team. Now, of course, consisting of many flashback scenes, we see how they've been chosen to join one way or another. Of course, obviously, the team, of course, includes Deadshot, played by Will Smith, Harley Quinn, played by Margot Robbie, and of course we have a few others, like, of course, another well-known Batman Rogues Gallery member, none other than Killer Croc. That was interesting. They never mentioned that, but you got not just Joker and Harley in this movie, but also Killer Croc. So Killer Croc has his live-action debut in this movie. Also, Captain Boomerang, best known for his appearances with The Flash, which is pretty interesting and to note. And also a newer character known as Diablo, a man who can basically control fire, can do fire flames out of his body and stuff. Now, it seems like most of these characters do have a very, interesting back. Of course, we all know Harley's backstory. She gets enthused and desires to be with the Joker during her times with him in Arkham. And of course, they even go as far as how she fully becomes falling into the vat of chemicals that, of course, turn Jack Napier into the Joker and all that kind of stuff. But also we go delve into the backgrounds of other characters, like Deadshot, of course, with his divorce, and he's, of course, also keeping, trying to take care of his daughter his best way he can, even though his criminal activities are the ones that kind of supplying the money to help her out. And also we kind of delve into Diablo's life. He's former street thug, and he, of course, even goes as far as that in a fit of anger, he kills his family with his fire powers, even though he didn't really want to. He wishes that he could bring him back and all. So he's pretty much, Diablo's kind of like the saddest character. So we kind of delve into their backgrounds, and we kind of feel for these characters, even though they're villains. They do have, I'm not going to say reasons, but they do have a bad, life brought on by their chosen professions. They really don't delve much into Captain Boomerang or Killer Croc or most of the other so-called villains in this group, even though one of them does get killed at the beginning of their mission. Team also consists of a mysterious being known as the Enchantress, which is actually a possessed female archaeologist, a woman possessed by a spirit known as the Enchantress, that was a sort of a worshipped deity back in ancient times, along with her brother, who, of course, we find out is trapped within a statue. And the young woman, of course, is in love with the sergeant in charge of the Suicide Squad. Basically, they're in love with each other, so basically, it's best way that the higher-ups can keep tabs on her. But the Enchantress has got alternate plans. She, of course, frees her brother from the statue and helps him possess other beings, other humans, and of course they're planning to destroy humanity with the one thing that humans have grown accustomed to needing, which of course is technology. They're going to create their own machine to destroy humanity. So when the Enchantress, of course, escapes and starts wreaking havoc in the middle of a city, it looks like New York, but I'm not really sure I can't remember what the city was named, but they decide to send out the Suicide Squad, and obviously, they kind of get along. But of course, it's not just they got to handle the Enchantress and her brother, but also, of course, the Joker has come out of hiding to try to rescue Harley Quinn from jail. He, of course, finds out she's no longer in jail. He, of course, finds out about the Suicide Squad. He, of course, tries to kidnap her. Now, of course, obviously, if you know that each member of the Suicide Squad in their necks has a bomb. Now, if they try to escape or try to attack soldiers or whatever, the actual good guys, they meet a grisly end through these explosions. Well, apparently the Joker has found a way to suppress this device because, of course, Harley, with the help of the Joker, Harley escapes. But of course, not for too long, because winds up the Joker's helicopter gets attacked, and Harley is separated from him once again, and has to reunite with the rest of the team to take on this force. So after they get their bearings and everything, they, and of course have an interesting conversation within a bar, they decide to take on the Enchantress and save the world. And after a climactic battle, of course, losing one of their own. Well, of course, when it comes to Diablo, I have to say I'm very impressed with his ultimate form, which of course I kind of call the Aztec version of Ghost Rider. If anything, that's pretty badass that he turned into before that final explosion, which took out the Enchantress's brother. And of course, after being forced to into some sort of hallucination, they of course they first defeat her, and of course take out her heart once more, freeing the young woman from her influences. So of course the team is survived. They saved the day. They saved the world, but of course they still have to serve their prison times until the next time they are called to be the Suicide Squad again. And of course, at the very end, the Joker returns and is about to free Harley from prison. So we'll have to see what the next, if there's going to be another Suicide Squad movie in the future. Now, of course, next, I have to say, and I do agree, and I can't wait to see this. Of course, this is going to lead up to the Harley Quinn solo movie in the near future. They already announced that there will be a Harley Quinn movie. Margot Robbie is not only going to return as playing her, but also she's going to be an executive producer. So she's going to have a little bit of a hand in this. So it's going to be really, it sounds really good. And I got to say, Margot Robbie's portrayal of Harley Quinn was spot on. I mean, not just if you ever saw Harley on the animated series or anything like that. It's not going to be Harley in the Harley Quinn, the classic Harley Quinn jumpsuit or anything, even though there is a scene where you get to see Margot dressed as the classic Harley Quinn, briefly. It's just a brief scene, and all, but, and there's even a scene where she's, checking out what she can wear and all that kind of stuff. That outfit is in the suitcase, but, that's just a brief, flash. You say, hey, yeah, that is her. Also, Will Smith, I had to say, this is the first movie I've seen in a long time with him, and I've seen a lot of his movies. The original Independence Day. I've seen Men in Black, which he's good in. The I Am Legend. Or I Am Josh. and all. He's pretty good in there. I think this is a good comeback movie for Will Smith. I mean, most of his other movies, sadly, have not been doing as well as the ones in his past. But I think this is a really good comeback movie for Will Smith. That not only do we see him playing a sort of a villainous role this time around, he's of course best known for playing like mostly heroes and all. But this time he's kind of a villain, even though he's turning his powers, turning his abilities to help humanity rather than for himself. And we do see that he also playing, sensitive father side, which he's pretty good at as well. Actually, in the real world, he is a father. And I actually, I can't say go out and see this movie unless you can, unless it's still out in your theaters, maybe in the low-price movie theaters or something like that. But of course, I kind of expect to see this movie coming out sometime in between now and early December at least. And all. Now, of course, obviously, as I said, Ben Affleck was in this. I'm not much of a Ben Affleck fan, but of course, I say he was good as playing Batman, as opposed to much of the other actors lately. He just give you a little bit more of a taste. His appearances was giving you a little bit more of a taste of what's going to be coming up in the Justice League movie and everything else, involving that. But it's going to be probably within the next couple of years. Next DC movie, obviously, will probably be the Wonder Woman movie that comes out next year and all. But keep an eye out. Of course, another favorite character that I liked was also Diablo. It's not just because you feel sorry for him. He actually wanted to change. Because those badass abilities of his, not just just transforming himself into this Aztec Ghost Rider creature. That's all I can say. It just looks like Ghost Rider. But, was he really killed off at the end? We're going to see him again in the future. And, of course, I also like Killer Croc. Obviously, he just looks so badass as well. I'm kind of shaking my head why they got Captain Boomerang. He was, not really useful in the whole movie. Outside maybe some comic relief and all, but... it wasn't so bad. And Katana, Katana was in this movie. She wasn't really part of the squad itself. She was just there because she was working with the sergeant. Sorry to mention, didn't mention earlier. Of course, she was in it, and of course, she possesses an enchanted sword which devours the souls of her vanquished victims, and once was owned by her deceased husband. So, but she did play some really pretty good swordplay in this movie. I think they did have her in some length in, not the same actress, but in season 3 of Arrow last year was. I think at least one version of Katana in that movie, in that series, I believe. And of course, Suicide Squad have been featured in Arrow 2. And if you do, by the way, if you do get a hold of season 2 of Arrow, there's a deleted scene featuring Harley Quinn. You just see the back of her head, and she's begging to get out, to take her arm. Of course, Deadshot says no, don't let her out. So that was the deleted scene, sadly. But I gotta say, this is a really good movie. Hope they do a sequel to this in the near future. Of course, they're gonna be pretty busy with the Justice League movies as well. But DC, at least they're doing better with their movies, with both Batman versus Superman and in this movie, 2 of their good movies of the year. Marvel, of course, has doubled, this movie. They had, of course, Deadpool, X-Men, X-Men Apocalypse, Captain America Civil War, and, of course, then in a few weeks we'll have Doctor Strange, which I can't wait to see. That looks, I've seen the previews of that, looks pretty good. So that's probably going to be my next movie to review when it comes out, and I will try my best to do a review as soon as I see it, as soon as the movie comes out. So I don't have to screw around and all that kind of stuff. But I am sorry, and I just wanted to get this review taken care of, and then move on to my more Halloween-themed reviews, which I do have. We got some zombie-themed action figure reviews, so we're going to be back with action figures of the Living Dead soon, and also stay tuned for that. And of course, also stay tuned for my review of Doctor Strange coming out in a couple weeks, and of course, stay tuned here for more reviews and whatnot here on the Multiverse. See ya.